Feel the heat rising, everything is on fire.
This is something that you need to do to your car. Everyone needs to do it. And if it's not done, you could be out thousands of dollars fixing the problems that have been caused to your car. What I'm talking about is changing the oil in your car. First, I'm going to show you why you need to do it. Second, I'll show you the tools that you need to do it. And finally, third, I'm going to show you how to do it. First, I'm going to explain to you why you need to change oil in your car. The main reason is because old oil does not work as good as new oil. It deals with the molecules not connecting together as well as the new oil because of the heat between the pistons and the other moving parts. The reason for oil is because there's moving parts in your car which move together at very, very high speeds. And the oil gets between them so that not as much friction occurs, and also if those metal parts were moving together, the engine would get hot enough to destroy itself, and the oil prevents it. That is why you need to change your oil. These are the tools required to do this job. You're going to need the specific oil that your car takes, which it will state in the manual. Also the specific oil filter that your car takes, and it also states in the manual. You will need a ratchet wrench and a set of sockets for the ratchet wrench. You need a car jack, a jack stand, and an oil catch. And then you'll also need some sort of light source, which I'm going to be using this one right here. Third, I'm going to show you how to treat your oil. What you need to do first is bring your car or vehicle onto a flat area, such as a garage, like I have done here. Then, you're going to need to pop the hood of your car so that more light can reach down into your working space. Once you have brought in your car to a flat area to where you can work, you need to let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes so all the oil can drain down to the bottom of the engine. Next, what you're going to need to do is get a jack and begin to lift your car up high enough to where you can work on it. This is not necessary if you already have a vehicle that is high enough, but my vehicle's got lowered suspension, so I have to lift it up. What you need to do is make sure you put the jack on the frame, or like my car, it is a unibody. So that's just basically the metal part of the car that is attached to the whole car. You don't want to put it on something plastic like your side skirts, otherwise it'll bend it all up. Or you don't want to put it on something like the exhaust or something else. You want to make sure you have it on the appropriate spot to jack the car up. And then you're going to need to lift it up high enough to where you can work on the car and get underneath it safely. Once you get the car jacked up to the height that you need it to, as you see I have, you need to put a jack stand underneath it on a part such as just like the last time where you jacked it up at, and you need to lower the jack down onto the jack stand. This is for safety, so that way the jack doesn't give out and this jack stand will hold the car up for you. Okay, so now that you've done that, you're to the part where you can finally start changing your oil. This screw right here, this bolt, is the bolt that you're going to release to drain the oil. And this is where you need to make sure you have your oil bucket right here, and you need to make sure you have it positioned below where you think the oil is going to go. A lot of times when you take it off, the oil will shoot out a little ways, so you want to make sure you have it to where it'll catch it. Now what you do now is you get your wrench with the socket that fits your vehicle, which I've already found, and you're going to loosen the bolt. So I broke it loose, and then you can take the wrench off and just unscrew it with your hands. So it started to miss the catch a little bit there, so I need to move it forward just some. And then you just wait for it to drain. And it'll take a little while. Not too long though. Once that's done draining, you just put the bolt back in. And then we move on to the oil filter, which is this right here. Now, they make tools to take off the oil filter, which is this right here. But I don't necessarily need it, because mine's loose enough. You're just going to simply twist it off, and a bunch of oil is going to fall out of it. And make sure you have your catch below it. And oil started to fall out of it, and it's not completely off yet, so I'm going to go ahead and let that drain just a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and take it off. There we go. And you're just going to sit that upside down, and it's going to break the top of your oil catch like mine did and fall in. And also get oil everywhere on your floor. Yeah, try not to do that. And then you get your new oil filter, and you're going to get some of the old oil and put it around the seal. Also, make sure the seal on the old oil filter is still attached to the oil filter and not attached to the car. Otherwise, it won't make a good fit and it could leak. And then you just screw this new oil filter right back onto the car. Okay, next, once you have that all back on and you've lowered your car and took it off the jack stand, you're going to need to take the engine oil cap off. And you're going to put the amount of engine oil that you need in your car. It'll say the amount of engine oil it takes in the owner's manual. Mine takes 4.2 quarts, so I'm going to pour 4.2 quarts using a funnel into where you put the engine oil. Alright, now we're down to the last step. I've filled up the engine with oil. I've checked the engine. You want to check the dipstick to make sure it has the right amount of oil. I've done that. And then you need to turn the car on for about a minute or so, and to let the engine go through, let the oil go through the engine. And you want to make sure you have your garage open. That way you don't die from carbon monoxide poisoning. And my check engine oil light will probably come on. But as you can see, it didn't. And if your car has an oil pressure gauge, you need to watch that. But my car does not. So I'm gonna let it run for about a minute. I've shown you why you need to change the oil in your car. I've shown you the tools that is required to change your oil in the car. And I've also shown you how to change oil in your car. Remember, changing oil in your car is something that's very important and you must do. If you didn't do it, it could cause some very serious problems and your car wouldn't run after very long.
Painful reminder.